I caught my wife in the act with her best friend's fiancé. I destroyed the wedding and shattered her dreams of love. Read it on a Tuesday morning. A manila envelope arrived, concealing a USB drive with no return address. Michael Carter gripped the small piece of plastic, knowing it would shatter his marriage in just a minute. He plunged it into his laptop, a heartbeat away from revelation. The video flickered to life, revealing a hotel room in disarray, luxurious sheets, empty champagne bottles, and his wife Celia entwined with another man. 3 days ago, Saturday night, the night of Ashley Collins's bachelorette party. Evan's coffee turned cold, his heart racing as he watched Celia laugh, kiss another man's neck, and stumble toward the bed. The camera tracked their every move, seizing each moment with chilling accuracy. A text overlay emerged in the bottom corner. I needed you to hear this. T. His phone buzzed, an unfamiliar number flashing on the screen. Evan, it's Lauren Bennett. Remember me from Jefferson High? Saturday night, I was immersed in the party's chaos. Evan recalled Theo, the silent boy tormented until Evan intervened in junior year. Theo's memory stirred, sharp and vivid. Why must it be this way? Evan asked, his voice unwavering, though his heart trembled violently within. You saved my life once, Theo whispered. I'm repaying the debt. The call was over. Evan sat in his tiny insurance office, drowning in claim files and harsh fluorescent light, as his marriage shattered before his eyes. Celia reappeared on screen, her words a soft secret that ignited laughter in her lover. The man's face sharpened into view. Ryan Mitchell, a figure from Celia's logistics firm. Evan shut the laptop, 39 years old, realizing that everything he had built was a facade of deception. But instead of rage, a chilling calm took root in his chest, something methodical. He dialed the doctor's office, heart racing. Now is the moment to secure your finances if you're thinking of leaving him. Rebecca blinked away her tears, her gaze sharpening as it fell on him. What consequences await? Evan revealed the haunting complaints of sexual maltreatment and the depths of his investigation. He revealed a few haunting images captured by Chris Morgan. Only whispers of betrayal linger, a silent testament to the affair. I want copies of everything, Rebecca said, her voice steady yet charged with urgency as he finished. I need him to suffer for what he's taken from us. Consider it done. Another hour slipped away in fervent planning as they said their goodbyes. Rebecca clutched the name of a trusted divorce attorney and held on to the hope that Evan would reveal any new evidence he found. As Evan drove home, Chris Morgan's call pierced the silence. Your wife and her lover have just arrived at the Jefferson Hotel. Presidential suite. They're set to turn it into an unforgettable day. Flawless. Capture their arrivals and departures. Every moment marked, every heartbeat counted. On it now. Hey boss. They paused at the jewelry store, hearts racing. Adrian splurged on a lavish purchase. Evan's anger ignited, raw and fierce, cutting through the chaos that had engulfed him. Place of shimmering dreams. Adrian spent money meant for his family on gifts for his wife, a betrayal that cut deep. Which store holds the secret? Schwarzschild, the heart of the city. 20 minutes felt like an eternity inside. Evan raced to Schwarzschild, urgency fueling a quick yet impactful exchange with the sales associate who had assisted Adrian. A few casual mentions and a made-up tale about insurance verification revealed that Adrian had bought Celia a $3,000 diamond bracelet. With a credit card likely maxed out, Rebecca's fears about their finances loomed large. Evan sat in his car outside the jewelry store, a chill gripping his heart, heavy and unyielding. This had become something far deeper. Adrian was plotting, investing in his wife's heart, envisioning a future where he would claim her for himself, tearing her from their shared life. It's time to speed things up. He dialed Catherine Price, the attorney handling his divorce. I have to hurry, he said to her. Submit the papers on Monday. I crave her public humiliation at work, a spectacle of utter disgrace. Do you really mean that? We weighed the benefits of patience to fortify our argument. The case is undeniably compelling. I need this wrapped up before she can stash away anything else or plot with him again. Okay, the papers will be ready. What happens with spousal support? She will receive nothing. Believe me, Sunday slipped away, silent and heavy. Celia returned from her so-called dress fitting, arms laden with shopping bags and a sparkling diamond bracelet. A gift from Nia, she said, for being the perfect maid of honor. It's beautiful, Evan whispered, his eyes locked on the bracelet, a spark of longing igniting within him. Luxurious allure. Nia's family is wealthy, Celia said, her voice steady. She yearned to find something extraordinary for each of her bridesmaids. Such kindness overwhelms me. They huddled together, eyes glued to the screen, as the weight of their unspoken worries hung heavy in the air. Fixing the leak in the guest bathroom, deciding on refinancing the mortgage, and navigating Thanksgiving plans with Celia's parents. Typical married couple chatter, but Evan held the secret of the bracelet's true price and its real giver close to his heart. He understood that by this time next week, they would be in a new place, together yet apart. Monday morning, Celia set out for work, her heart soaring. Big week ahead, she murmured, her eyes locked on the mirror as she smoothed her lipstick. Nia's wedding is this Saturday. Thursday brings the board presentation, and the weight of it looms large. Once this week passes, a sense of peace will finally settle in. Evan nodded, certainty flickering in his eyes. At 10 a.m., a process server entered Cornerstone Transport Solutions, eyes scanning for Jessica Miller at the front desk. Evan understood this. He had asked Chris Morgan to capture the moment with his camera. The photos came just 20 minutes later. Celia's face contorted in disbelief as she scanned the divorce papers. Eyes fixed on her, silence thick in the air. She rushed back to her office, the hushed voices trailing behind her. Chris Morgan's report arrived just an hour later. She dialed Adrian without hesitation. They gather for lunch, tension thick in the air, ready to confront the storm ahead. Should I capture our talk? Without a doubt. At noon, Chris Morgan sat at a table close to Adrian and Celia in a bustling Italian restaurant downtown. The hidden device in Adrian's jacket pocket, a risky yet essential choice, recorded it all. "This is a disaster," Celia said, her voice trembling. "He holds all the secrets." Infidelity was explicitly stated in the divorce papers. What does he truly understand? Adrian inquired. "I'm lost." Yet, he remains unervingly calm through it all. Unervingly serene. He would never act this way. Perhaps he's still grappling with it. Can you believe it? Some men retreat into silence when feelings surge. "You just don't get it," Celia said. Evan remains stoic. He plots his moves with precision. If he files for divorce, he's already made his move. What now? "I'm lost. My lawyer urges me to seek reconciliation or, at the very least, postpone the inevitable. Delay and uncover his secrets. No way. This could be a turning point. We can finally be free. No more hiding in the shadows. We can truly be together." A heavy silence lingered. Then Celia's voice quieter. "Adrian, I have to ask you something important. Do you really mean what you say about us? A glimpse of our tomorrow?" "Absolutely. What makes you think that's a question worth asking?" "Because you're still tied to someone else. If we're both facing divorce, we must confront our financial reality. The weight of your debt. What assets are we talking about? Forget the money worries. I've been setting everything in motion. Rebecca is unaware of so many of my accounts." Another breath held tight. Once more, Celia. "Which accounts?" "Secrets beneath the waves. Digital gold. Funds locked away, just out of reach. This has been in the works for months, my love. When the moment arrives, choices will await us." Evan replayed the recording thrice, his pen racing across the page. Adrian concealed his wealth from his wife. Maybe against the law. Crucial for Rebecca's divorce battle. He was deceiving Celia about his finances. Rebecca revealed that Adrian was suffocating in debt, using their home as collateral to fuel his betrayal. Phase 3 begins now. Evan dialed Jason Lee at Cornerstone Transport. "The preliminary report on the Ryan Mitchell investigation is ready," he stated. "Can we meet later today? You must see these urgent findings now." "How critical is it?" "Fire him now. It's urgent." They met at 3 p.m., hearts racing. the air thick with unspoken words. Evan unveiled a damning file, exposing Adrian's horrific abuse of several female employees. He misused company resources for personal gain and engaged in an inappropriate relationship with Celia, an HR colleague from another firm. Jesus Christ, Marcus breathed, his fingers trembling over the images of Adrian and Celia, their smiles haunting him. She holds a director position in HR at Morrison Logistics, a disaster waiting to happen. If news breaks that a senior analyst has been abusing employees and involved in an affair with an HR executive from another company, he shook his head, a silent storm brewing within. Major contracts hang by a thread. Immediate termination is essential, along with a thorough review of his access to company systems and information. Please ensure everything is documented for our legal team, ready to go. Evan passed a heavy folder, tension crackling in the air. This will safeguard against any wrongful termination claims he may attempt. At 4:30 p.m., Adrian's world shattered. They took everything, his laptop, phone, access cards, and led him away, security close behind. Evan understood this. He had instructed Chris Morgan to observe from the parking lot. The images of Adrian, stunned and furious, hauling a cardboard box to his car, stirred something profound within. Celia called Evan at 5:15. Darling, I have something urgent to share. Her voice trembled as she spoke. Adrian lost his job today. How awful. What transpired? I'm not aware of everything. A tense HR investigation looms. Whispers of his cruelty towards female employees echo through the halls. Incredible. That's intense. It is everything. Amidst all that we are facing together. She hesitated. Evan, we need to talk tonight. Truly speak. We must confront the truth about our marriage. Absolutely. I'll grab dinner on my way back. Grateful. I adore you. I love you just as deeply. Evan ended the call, a smile breaking across his face. Celia stood at the edge, heart racing, ready to unveil the truth. For her, honesty had come too late to change anything. That evening, Celia paced the living room, her heart racing, while Evan sat at the kitchen table, the clatter of chopsticks echoing in the tense silence. She slipped into jeans and an old sweater, her comfort armor, fingers tangled in her hair, anxiety spiraling. Let's seek help together. We can find a way through this. He settled into his reading chair opposite her, his expression a mask of mystery. Is the betrayal truly finished? Yes, Celia replied, urgency in her voice. Absolutely. When did you last see Adrian? Evan inquired, his voice steady yet resolute. She paused, a fleeting moment that sealed his suspicions. Just a week ago. It was over. What day was it last week? He pushed harder. Celia squirmed, tension crackling in the air. Why does it even matter? Evan responded, seeking clarity on the timeline. When did you choose to break it off with Adrian? She paused, then whispered. When I understood what it was doing to our marriage. When I realized I was on the brink of losing something genuine for a fleeting moment. Evan's nod was heavy with contemplation. Fascinating. My private investigator says you were at the Jefferson Hotel with Adrian yesterday afternoon. Presidential suite. You shared a tense lunch with him today after his firing, strategizing how to navigate our divorce. Celia's face went pale. You've been watching me. I've been gathering proof for the divorce. Absolutely, Evan. She rose, hesitated, then sank back into her seat. What do you truly understand? All that matters. The bachelorette party footage. The infection you passed on to me. The WhatsApp messages where you and Nia tease your husbands. A secret that could shatter everything. Adrian gifts you jewelry, the price paid with stolen family money. Should I go on? Celia's eyes widened in terror. Which video are you referring to? Evan opened his laptop, the hotel room footage flickering to life. Celia saw herself lost in a kiss with Adrian, laughter echoing, surrendering to the night as it concluded. Her face twisted in a way that suggested she might be sick. Who captured this? A person who believed I had the right to uncover the truth. Evan, just hear me out. No words can capture it. Choices were made. You must face what you've done. Celia's sobs grew louder, each one a piercing echo of her pain. What will happen next? What will you choose? I'll watch you unravel. I'm merely handing over the weapons. What does it signify? Evan shut the laptop, his gaze shifting to his wife, soon-to-be ex-wife, a flicker of pity crossing his face. Adrian has deceived you about his finances. He's not concealing anything from Rebecca. He's concealing his burden. Approximately $200,000, based on my findings. Credit cards, personal loans, a second mortgage, hidden from Rebecca. Your affair has cost me dearly. Celia's tears waned, but her shoulders quaked with lingering sorrow. That's not, he claimed he had offshore accounts, she breathed. Evan stood resolute. He deceived. Adrian is destitute. More than just empty. Now he's jobless, battling sexual abuse lawsuits, and enduring a divorce, with his wife fully aware of the concealed debt. She jolted upright. What makes you so certain of all this? I've been speaking with Rebecca, he replied, his voice steady. Tomorrow she takes the final step, divorce. She's alerting the authorities about the concealed debt, suspecting fraud. Celia's eyes widened, shock gripping her heart. Did you speak with his wife? We've grown really close, Evan said. Spouses betrayed share a deep, haunting bond. Her face transformed, shock giving way to a fierce blaze of anger. Evan, this is insane. Anger doesn't justify shattering lives. I'm not destroying anything, he declared, rising to his feet. I'm just uncovering what has always existed. You and Adrian shattered your own futures. I want to ensure everyone is aware. A heavy silence lingered. Then Celia gazed at him, her eyes filled with desperation. What will become of us? Is our marriage even real? Our marriage shattered the moment you were with Adrian, Evan said, his voice devoid of warmth. Since that moment, it's all been a blur of paperwork. She remained frozen, speechless. When she finally spoke, her voice trembled, filled with urgency. What do you seek from me? How can I make this right? Nothing, he murmured, snatching his coat with urgency. Everything is as it should be. There must be something, she urged. Cash? I'll surrender it all in the divorce. Everything I had, my home, my future, gone. Evan stared at her, silence stretching, then whispered, I already have everything. It's now in accounts beyond your reach. Fear flickered in her gaze. That's impossible. That's against the law. It's not, he said. His voice steadied. I shifted my assets, safeguarding them from deceitful hands, all within the law. But the house is in my name only, she began, but Evan interrupted. Do you recall signing that quitclaim deed 2 years back during the refinance? You promised it would simplify things for taxes. Celia's face drained of color. This was your design, every last detail. No, he replied, grabbing his keys from the coffee table. This was all part of my plan. A distinction exists. He stepped toward the door, never glancing back. Tonight, I'll be at a hotel. You're welcome to stay until the divorce is finalized. After that, you must seek a new place to call home. Her voice trembled. Where am I supposed to go? Evan moved forward, unwavering. It's no longer my burden to bear. Evan approached the door, hesitated. Celia, you should consider getting tested again. Adrian's been with other women, not just you. Rebecca uncovered proof of 3 betrayals. He abandoned her, tears staining the couch, and sped to a Hampton Inn by the airport. The room was cramped and ordinary, yet it belonged to him. After months of turmoil, Evan finally found solace in sleep. Tuesday morning unleashed a surprising thrill. Evan's fork paused midair as his phone buzzed, slicing through the quiet of the hotel restaurant. An unknown number sent the message. Nia Granger here. We must discuss the wedding. He fixed his gaze on the screen, heart racing, before he typed back. There's nothing left to say. She replied in an instant. I can feel it. There's a secret from the bachelorette party that you hold over me. Silence has a price, and I'm willing to pay. Fascinating. Nia's heart raced, fear gripping her tightly. Evan fired off a brief reply. Let's rendezvous at Pearlie's Deli on Boulevard at noon. He toiled through the morning at his office, buried in the weight of insurance tasks. At 11, Chris Morgan's call pierced through the silence with news. Adrian's day spirals downwards. The PI revealed. Rebecca locked him out for good. His credit cards are frozen, and whispers of his firing spread like wildfire. Oh, you know where he's hiding. Evan leaned back in his chair, a question hanging in the air. Rundown motel on Broad Street, a place where time is measured in weeks. His car was taken away this morning. Evan's lips curled into a grim smile. Flawless. Watch him closely. Will he reach out to Celia? Copy that, Chris Morgan replied, then hung up. Naya stood alone, anticipation crackling in the air as Evan approached Pearlie's Deli. Her eyes darted to her phone, scanning the restaurant as if waiting for the flash of cameras to invade her space. Thanks for meeting me, she whispered as he slipped into the booth. Eyes locked on hers. Evan's hands clasped tightly on the table. How can I help you? I know you have the video from the bachelorette party, Naya whispered, her voice barely a breath. I see it's me and Marcus. I'll pay you $10,000 to make it disappear. His eyebrow arched in silent challenge. What reason could there be to erase it? You're directing your anger at me, but it's really Celia you're upset with. Her voice trembled with tension. This won't ruin my wedding. Evan's gaze pierced through her. Her beauty was striking, yet hauntingly synthetic. Flawless makeup, opulent designer attire, and jewelry that likely surpassed the value of his car. She was a masterpiece of status, every detail meticulously crafted. When's the big day? He inquired nonchalantly. This Saturday, she answered. Declan's family is converging from every corner. 200 souls gather. 40 grand just for the venue. He realized the weight of the sum.it is. She conceded, her voice barely above a whisper. And if you release that video, her words hung in the air, unfinished. Evan tilted his head, curiosity flickering in his eyes. What happened at the party that has you so anxious? Nia's hands trembled, her heart racing. I stumbled, I faltered, but those missteps don't define my true self. What mistakes? He pressed, urgency in his voice. Marcus was there, my ex-boyfriend. Her voice fell to a hush. We connected. Evan's eyebrow arched, silence hanging heavy as he allowed her to speak on. Nia called it foolish. Drunk and terrified of the wedding, he stood there, looming. Just a hookup? He asked, his gaze piercing. We had sex, she confessed, her voice a whisper now. In that hotel room, it was nothing. Just cold feet and empty echoes. Evan's nod was deliberate, heavy with unspoken thoughts. Now, fear grips you as Nia's eyes brim with tears, dreading Declan's discovery. He would perish without a doubt. Declan has never touched another woman. He sees me as flawless, untouched by error, she whispered, wiping away tears with a napkin. He's a remarkable soul. He shouldn't suffer like this. Evan nodded, a weight in his voice. He simply doesn't. Her gaze met his, filled with desperate hope. Are you really going to delete the video? Evan's calm reply hung in the air, a promise wrapped in uncertainty. Her tone cut through the air. What does it signify? Without a word, Evan dug into his jacket and retrieved his phone. He tapped the screen, revealing a photo, not from the bachelorette party, but from Chris Morgan's watchful eye just last week. He mentioned it was captured just 5 days prior. 3 hours at the Omni Hotel with Marcus. Time stood still. Nia's eyes widened, frozen in disbelief. Why were you trailing me? I wasn't tracking you, Evan replied, his tone steadied. I delved into the tangled web of my wife's secrets. You were just one of the threads woven into this tapestry. This is madness, she whispered, her voice trembling. Spying on others is unacceptable. I can investigate insurance fraud, he said, unfazed. It spiraled into workplace misconduct, then infidelity, each step shockingly legal. Nia's gaze fell to the table, heavy with unspoken thoughts. When she finally spoke, her voice echoed emptiness. What do you truly desire? Evan acted without a moment's pause. Be truthful with me. How long have you been betraying Declan? Ever since that moment we said yes. 8 months passed. Her hands shielded her face, hiding the turmoil within. Marcus and I share a past that haunts us both. 2 years together, then I met Declan. Engaged and drawn back to Marcus, I found myself unable to resist his pull. Why choose Declan when your heart belongs to Marcus? Marcus is broke. Her words erupted, piercing the air and drawing the gaze of other diners. She glanced over, her voice dropping to a whisper. Marcus pours drinks, weaving stories into every glass. He resides in a cramped studio and drives a car that's a relic of the past, older than my very existence. Declan holds a trust fund, a lifeline wrapped in shadows. His family controls half of Henrico County. Is this really just about money? It's a matter of survival. Living the life I crave. Nia's gaze pierced through him. Do you really believe that defines me as a bad person? It reveals your truth. At last. Are you going to erase the video? Evan paused, the weight of her question hanging in the air. Nia was undeniably right. His battle lay elsewhere. Yet, she was Celia's closest ally and confidant. She was on the brink of shattering a good man's life, all for the sake of money. No, he finally said, I'll offer you a bargain. What deal are we talking about? End it yourself. Reveal the truth about Marcus to Declan. Complete it by Saturday, and the video stays just between us. Have you lost your mind? I just can't. I'll make it happen for you. 1 hour before the ceremony on Saturday morning. I'll give Declan the USB drive containing it all. Clips, images, moments. Let him choose if he will take the plunge into marriage. Nia's eyes widened, disbelief coursing through her. Would you truly go that far? Ruin my wedding before 200 witnesses? I'm rescuing Declan from a loveless marriage. Feels like a duty to the community. This is coercion. This is a choice, and it matters. Reveal the truth to him in secret and seek resolution, or allow him to discover it publicly and confront the fallout. Nia wept freely, her makeup forgotten in the storm of her emotions. Forgiveness is a distant dream. Perhaps not. He deserves the opportunity to choose. If I stay silent, Saturday will haunt us all forever. Evan abandoned her at the table, racing back to his hotel, heart pounding. He had urgent calls to make and crucial plans to finalize. For days until the wedding, and he braced himself for whatever fate awaited. Wednesday delivered shocking revelations from every angle. The call arrived at dawn from Rebecca Kearns. Adrian appeared at my workplace yesterday, she said, her voice steady but charged. He was escorted out by security. His screams echoed, a raw testament to the life you shattered. Evan's voice cut through the air. Are you okay? I believe so, she answered, her voice barely above a whisper. Desperation eclipses danger in him now. I need you to understand he's losing control. Evan promised. I'll make sure someone watches over him. Is there any update on the divorce? My lawyer filed everything yesterday, Rebecca whispered, her voice trembling. Adrian is in for a devastating surprise when he uncovers the true extent of his debt. He's been concealing credit cards from me all this time. What's the amount? Evan asked, urgency in his voice. Nearly $300,000. She spat out, her voice thick with resentment. And the second mortgage looms. He risked it all, using everything we have, to fuel his betrayal with your wife. Luxury escapes, exquisite dining, sparkling treasures, fleeting adventures. I unknowingly bore the weight of my husband's betrayal. A chilling satisfaction gripped Evan's heart. He's on the brink of financial devastation. Absolutely, Rebecca affirmed. His lawyer warns that the lawsuits for sexual maltreatment at work will come with a hefty price tag. Bankruptcy looms on the horizon. Good, Evan replied, his voice steady. Another call pierced the silence an hour later. Catherine Price stood before him, the weight of Evan's divorce hanging in the air. Celia's lawyer is ready to negotiate, she revealed. Agree to no-fault divorce proceedings, and they'll split everything down the middle. Evan's eyebrow shot up. What power do they hold? None at all, Janet replied, her voice heavy with finality. Her lawyer senses the vulnerability in her stance. The offer reeks of desperation. Decline it, Evan commanded, his voice unwavering. Janet sighed, longing for fault-based proceedings. Every detail of the betrayal laid bare. It is bound to be chaotic and out in the open. He said, I'm counting on it. By midday, the third call pierced through the silence. Chris Morgan, the private investigator. All day, Chris Morgan said he's been reaching out to your wife. Reaching out, messaging, appearing at her job. She's silent. Fascinating, Evan whispered. Celia might be more clever than I ever realized. Perhaps she's simply afraid, Chris Morgan suggested. Whispers spread. Adrian has shattered. He drowned his sorrows in alcohol, spewing threats, consumed by thoughts of vengeance against those who shattered his existence. Continue to watch him, Evan commanded. If he becomes a threat, dial for help. Absolutely. And boss Chris Morgan's in. Whispers suggest Ashley Collins's wedding is on shaky ground. Whispers swirl of the groom's wavering heart. Evan's lips curled into a fleeting smile. Seriously? Fascinating. At 3 p.m. his phone buzzed. A message from Nia. I revealed the truth to him. Everything revolves around Marcus. It's over. Are you truly happy now? Evan replied. Your choice fills me with pride. She replied in an instant. Declan avoids my gaze completely. His family seethes with rage. The vendors are holding onto their deposits tightly. Everything is gone. Evan's words cut deep. You've lost money and hollow connections. You've reclaimed your integrity. Nia's last message dripped with poison. Forget your so-called integrity. I wish for you and Celia to bring each other to ruin. Evan remained silent. He placed the phone down. A dark, silent satisfaction washing over him at the thought that Brandon Scott wouldn't be with a woman who viewed him merely as a source of wealth. Thursday morning unleashed an unexpected shock. Evan stood at the hotel desk, heart racing as he prepared to leave. He had made up his mind. It was time to seek a place to call home. His phone buzzed, illuminating the screen with Celia's name. He answered right away. Evan? It's me, she whispered, her voice trembling with uncertainty. A nightmare has unfolded. His stomach plummeted. What is it? Last night, Adrian struck. She whispered it at my office. Evan stood still, his grip on the phone tightening as he fought to keep it together. Are you okay? I'm broken. Terrified, Celia confessed, her voice trembling. Fueled by rage and alcohol, he raged about his shattered world. His career, Rebecca, his destiny. It was all my fault, he said, his eyes burning with accusation. Where are you? I need to know. Evan inquired, his feet already carrying him toward the door. I'm at the station, heart racing. I submitted a report. They're closing in on him. I'll be right there, he promised, unwavering. Evan stepped into the Richmond Police Department's downtown headquarters and locked eyes with Celia in the waiting area. She appeared shattered, her pallor striking, fatigue etched on her face, a deep bruise marring her left cheek. Seeing her like that ignited a fierce instinct to protect her. One he believed was long gone. He sat beside her, his voice steady, masking the storm within. Reveal the truth to me. Celia's gaze fell to her trembling hands as she spoke. Late nights consumed by reports, the weight of divorce looming ahead. Adrian arrived at 8, the air thick with anticipation. He was consumed by rage, drowning in alcohol. That he insisted I had shattered his world, that every misfortune was mine to bear. Did he intimidate you? Evan inquired. Her gaze darted to his. He seized me, rattled me, declared that if he fell, I would fall too. Her fingers brushed her cheek softly. As I attempted to escape, his fist struck me. Jesus, Celia, he whispered, his fist clenching. Her eyes darted, anxiety gripping her heart. Security arrived just in time, but Evan's voice fell to a whisper. He's far from finished. He vowed retribution for all. You, me, Rebecca, and Nia. Together, always. He's utterly unraveling. Just as Evan opened his mouth to speak, Olivia Ramirez burst into the lobby. Mrs. Lark, she whispered. Let's revisit your statement, just once more. Celia stood, a silent agreement in her eyes. As Evan began to rise, Celia's hand shot out, gripping his with fierce intensity. "Please, don't go," she begged. "Everything is tangled between us. But in this moment, fear grips me, and you're the one I lean on." He gazed at her battered face, her shaking fingers entwined with his. A flicker of care lingered, perhaps forever etched in his soul. "All right," he whispered. "I choose to remain." The interrogation pierced deep. Detective Santos pressed on, a delicate balance of softness and strength. "When did it all start? Has Adrian ever unleashed his fury? Is there a safe place for you to go?" Celia responded softly, her honesty piercing the silence. "I've been at the house. But if Adrian finds out where I am, patrol cars will be circling constantly," the detective promised her. "Considering his fragile state, seeking a temporary refuge seems wise." Afterward, Evan and Celia lingered in his car, the precinct looming behind them. The silence hung thick and tense until Celia broke it at last. "Thank you," she breathed, her voice trembling, "for not leaving me alone in there." Evan gripped the steering wheel tightly. "No need for gratitude. I do," her voice shattered once more. "After all I've done." She turned away, tears brimming in her eyes. "That I was such a fool. Evan. Adrian, our love, the truth of us." He began to speak, but she silenced him with a raised hand. "And oh, let me finish," she urged, her voice trembling with urgency. "Adrian thrilled me with his perilous charm. He was nothing but a threat." Her laugh was sharp, laced with bitterness, as she wiped her face with her sleeve. "Do you really want to know the truth? The raw reality?" Evan's eyes flicked to the side. "If you feel the need to share." "I was bored," she confessed, her eyes revealing a deeper truth. "With him, with my existence, with the weight of adulthood." Adrian ignited a spark of youth, daringness, and vitality within me. She hesitated, then continued. "Youthful abandon is merely a euphemism for foolishness and self-centeredness." Evan remained silent. What could possibly be said? Celia inhaled deeply, bracing for what lay ahead. "It's too late now. I understand you'll hold this against me forever. I want you to know I grasp the weight of what I lost. Evan, you are a good man. You deserve more than I can give." His gaze pierced through her, a storm of emotions hidden deep within. "Where will you rest your head tonight?" "I don't know," she confessed. "A hotel, perhaps. My parents live 3 hours from here." Evan weighed his choices, heart racing. Leaving her at a hotel and walking away felt like the only choice. Let her face her own battles. Adrian was a threat, and Celia remained his wife, bound by law but not by love. "You can stay at my hotel room tonight," he finally said. "I'll take the couch tonight. You can sort things out tomorrow." "There's no need for that. I know I shouldn't, but Adrian's a wild card, and I can't bear the thought of you getting hurt more than you already are." Silence enveloped them as they drove to the Hampton Inn. Celia feigned illness, while Evan urgently reached out to Chris Morgan and Detective Santos. Adrian was still gone, yet his car had been seen near downtown Richmond. "We have to find him before he hurts anyone else," Evan urged Chris Morgan in a tense call. Chris Morgan's voice shattered the silence, raw and electric. "The police are closing in, but he's already lost everything." Transforms him into a threat. That evening, Evan and Celia huddled on the bed, room service forgotten as the news unfolded before them. It was like a dream. Two souls once intertwined, now trapped in a monotonous existence, far from where they truly belong. Celia shattered the silence in the midst of the commercial break. "May I ask you something?" Evan silenced the TV. "Absolutely." Her words fell like shadows, avoiding his gaze. "When did you realize the truth about Adrian?" He sank into the headboard, lost in thought. "The day you faced the STD test. Your act in the doctor's office was compelling, yet flawed." Celia's eyes filled with shock. "You knew all along and stayed silent?" "I was gathering evidence, making plans," Evan said, his voice devoid of emotion. "Are you plotting my demise?" she demanded, her voice turning icy. He faced her, heart racing. "Strategies for my own safety. All that remained were the aftermaths." "Fair enough," she whispered, then paused. The air thick with unspoken thoughts and unspoken heaviness hung in the air, binding them in silence. At last, she inquired, "What comes next? Are you with us?" Evan's eyes locked in, unwavering. "The divorce is final. You unravel your existence. I discover my truth. What about Adrian?" Her voice quivered with emotion. "Adrian confronts the fallout of his decisions, just like the rest." By Friday morning, the truth was laid bare. Evan's phone shattered the silence at 7 a.m. He answered, Detective Santos's voice cutting through the silence. "We found him," she whispered. "Ryan Mitchell. He's in handcuffs now." "To strike at Celia?" Evan inquired, his posture suddenly tense. Santos responded, "Among other things. He's been occupied, it seems. He invaded his ex-wife's home, snatched jewelry and electronics, attempted to use Celia's credit card at 3 stores, and left chilling voicemails for his former boss." Evan exhaled sharply. "Will he face prison time?" "Absolutely," Santos confirmed. "Countless felonies loom ahead." "He's gone," and silence reigns now. Evan hung up, his gaze locking onto Celia at the small hotel table, cradling her mug of coffee. "Adrian's in handcuffs," he whispered. Her face lit up with relief. "Thank God? For what exactly?" "Infiltration, larceny, identity deception, chilling threats. Years behind bars await him." "Years?" she whispered, eyes blazing. "He's up against federal charges for credit card fraud, and Virginia's about to pile on more." Celia gazed into her coffee, her voice barely a whisper. "It's truly finished. Everything." "The criminal stuff," Evan said, his voice low and heavy. "The divorce remains unfinished." "The divorce, then?" Her gaze met his, shimmering with unspoken emotions. "It may seem wild, but a part of me longs for a fresh beginning. Forget it all ever occurred. We can't," Evan said, his voice gentle yet firm. She nodded, understanding flooding her eyes. "Yet, if we had the chance, would you dare to?" He halted, eyes locked on the woman before him. Beautiful, intelligent, capable of laughter, when she wasn't hiding behind a mask. Yet she was the one who had deceived him for half a year, who had given him an STD, who had mocked him in secret. "No," he finally said. "No way. Is it that you can't forgive me?" "Trust is a fragile thing," he said, "and I can't give it to you. Without trust, there's nothing left to salvage." Celia's nod was slow, heavy with unspoken weight. Tears surged once more. "I get it. I hope you do," Evan whispered, his voice trembling with urgency. "I hope this teaches you something profound." Her laugh was sharp, laced with bitterness. "What am I meant to discover? Cheating is a betrayal, a wound that cuts deep. I was already aware of that." "No," Evan replied, standing up from the bed, urgency in his movements as he began to pack his overnight bag. "Every choice echoes through time. Others are not mere background. They are vital to your narrative. Hurt others, and you may find the pain returned." She brushed away her tears, her hand trembling. "Was this it? Are you going to hurt me in return?" Evan zipped his bag, pausing to steal one last glance at her. "No," he declared with unwavering resolve. "I chose to rise above the pain. A stark contrast exists." 6 months later, Evan stood in the airport parking lot, bidding farewell to a life he never wished to abandon, yet couldn't endure any longer. 3 months had passed since the divorce was finalized. Celia hired a damage control lawyer, but the situation was already spiraling beyond repair. The evidence loomed large, and Virginia's laws on infidelity offered no mercy. She had nearly lost it all. Just a few clothes, her car, and a glimmer of cash to begin anew. Adrian faced 7 long years behind bars. Rebecca divorced, sold the house to settle his debts, and moved with the kids to North Carolina, seeking solace near her family. She sent Evan a Christmas card, gratitude spilling over for his role in her escape from the chains of an abusive marriage. Nia vanished from Richmond, a ghost after the wedding scandal. Last Evan knew, she was selling homes in Charlotte, entangled with a man oblivious to her past with Marcus. Some never grasped the lesson. Brandon Scott sent Evan a bottle of fine scotch, accompanied by a note that lingered in the air. You gave me a second chance. Call me if you need anything. He was seeing a nurse from VCU Medical Center. A kindred spirit in hiking and volunteer work. Genuine passions, not the hollow acts Nia had staged just for him. All passengers, it's time to board Flight 447 to Denver. Evan grabbed his bag and strode to the gate, heart racing. He landed a job with a Denver insurance firm, diving deep into the shadows of complex fraud investigations. Higher pay, elevated title, transformed life, a fleeting opportunity to begin anew, hidden from the shadows of his past. His phone vibrated, a message waiting to shatter the silence. The sender was unknown, yet he knew the number all too well. I heard you're saying goodbye. I'm glad for you. I wish you joy on your journey ahead. I regret it all. Evan read the message twice, then deleted it, silence hanging heavy in the air. Some conversations were better left unfinished. As the plane soared from Richmond, Evan's gaze fell on the city that had been his heart for 15 years. At 30,000 feet, it seemed serene, structured, a realm where misfortune dared not touch the innocent. Yet Evan understood the truth now. Everywhere, darkness loomed, touching every soul. The challenge lay in choosing your reaction when they struck. Some became victims. Some chose the path of darkness. Some, with intelligence and patience, chose strategy over emotion and emerged as survivors. The plane tilted west, heading for Colorado, for mountains, for snow, for a future that was all Evan's. After months of darkness, a smile broke through. 3 hours into the flight, his phone buzzed. An alert from his banking app. His investment account soared to a new height, a house in Denver's foothills, a view of the Rockies, and space for the dog he longed for. Everything Celia had denied him. What was once theirs now belonged solely to him. Money Celia helped earn with her HR salary, now lost to her own betrayal. With a drink in hand, Evan opened his laptop, diving into the world of dog breeds perfect for the mountains. German Shepherds radiated promise, loyalty, intelligence, protection. Everything his ex-wife had failed to be. The plane soared through fragmented clouds, the sun sinking low, whisking Evan away from Richmond. A new life awaited, free from the shadows of deceit and the uncertainty of trust. What he did to Celia and Adrian, excessive, cruel, unforgivable. Yet Evan saw it as a lesson learned. He showed them that every action echoed, that betrayal demanded its toll. Some men, when cornered, unleash a force you never saw coming. He wanted this lesson to echo in their hearts forever. Virginia vanished into the shadows below, carrying away the final remnants of Michael Carter's past. Before her stretched Colorado, a realm of possibility, where peace blossomed from the fierce battles fought against those who sought her ruin, and emerged victorious.